Hey guys, welcome to Good News York. I'm Matt Major from Growth Mode Content, joined as always by my Smurf-colored friend today.
Smurf?
Fuck that up already. Look at that.
I know. Yeah, I am Smurf-colored.
That was
Mike
almost
Brindisi.
funny.
How are you?
This is why the people on Instagram say that I'm not funny. Because
Why?
I'm not funny.
Yes, you are.
Yes, you are.
All the clips, I laugh at your reaction or what you say in all.
Yeah, but I
the
pay you
clips.
to do that.
Well, yeah, I know. But you're supposed to say it on the air. We are sponsored by Ads on the Go. GetAdsOnTheGo.com, and we have a special guest.
Get ads on the go. It's the coolest truck around. But speaking of the coolest around, we have joining
I'm
us.
going to say, speaking of the coolest truck around.
No, we have the most fashionable lady in all of Syracuse.
By far.
I believe.
By far.
One of our Growth Mode content creators.
Yeah.
And my good friend, Marie Adornato. Welcome
everybody.
to Good News York.
And when someone calls me a lady, I know I'm experienced.
That's right. This should have happened a long time ago, and that's
Yeah.
on me because I book for this show. We should have had you on a long
Oh, it's
before,
fine.
but you're here now. And man, I remember when we first met Marie. You knew about Marie,
Sure.
from Profound, correct?
Yep.
Yeah. And when I first met you, you too were like a unicorn because you do so much. It's but it all works together. But you are a woman of many talents. And
Well, a lot of identities.
yeah.
So I think when you are in business for a long time, and actually when you age, you have wisdom, which is
That is
great.
That is true.
And so over time, you just kind of develop these identities. When I first started my business, I wasn't married. You know, I was in my early 20s. I just got out of college. I was in graduate school, and I was working for my mom's family business. And, you know, kind of just wanted to start my own thing. I knew I was going to be an entrepreneur. Once I got to graduate school, it was kind of like, at that point, I was like, yeah, I don't think I'm really going to fit in with all these other people wearing, like, blue blazers. I'm in like a red jacket with a pearled lapel, and I walk into these like job interviews, and you know, they have these job fairs when you're in college and grad school.
Sure.
And I was like, I don't really fit in here. So
No, they didn't fit in with you.
well, back in the day, it was like there was no like entrepreneurship major. You know what I mean? It was
Sure.
kind of like they had, you know, finance.
Yeah.
You know, we'd call finance.
Finance.
Yes. And remember, people, especially viewers, like when people pronounce things a certain way, we want to make sure that we're respectful of the way that they pronounce things, because
Yeah.
there's various different ways of pronouncing things. And if
true.
you actually, you know, look it up, there's different ways to pronounce the same word.
I think we should
So-
shoot a documentary about it.
It
Really
is.
do. Really do.
Italian, what's the difference? Anyway,
Documentary.
so yeah, so as I, you know, as I started getting into dresses from the pageant world, I was a contestant in the Miss America program for quite some time.
Wow.
Ooh.
Yeah, I got lucky. I competed in the Miss New York pageant. I won the locals 3 years in a row, and then I got to the state pageant, which was in Watertown at the time.
Oh.
And you know, everybody would think, well,
What a
Watertown.
place for a beauty
Yeah, yeah,
pageant.
it's
But I got to tell you,
Invite the army.
you know, I'll tell you, I love Watertown. It's one of the most amazing cities, and the people are just so like down home and like really authentic. So I had a host family one of the years and became very close with them, and I'm still to this day close to the family. But so because of the pageant world, I got into dresses and all that. So I took my passion for that along with my business education, put it all together, threw it up in a bag and mixed it all up. And then, you know, wound up with Spy Baby Bridal and Spy Baby Boutique. I had a clothing store and a bridal store. And then once I got married and was pregnant with my first child, I sold off the boutique. Unfortunately, the friend that I sold it off to passed away. She got hit by a car on her bike in Albany. It was awful. And she had like 4 locations. She was pretty awesome. And her name was Diva De Luisa. She was really super cool. It was a huge loss in the fashion world. So that kind of had a profound impact on me.
Yeah.
And then, you know, as I started raising a family, you know, you just start kind of like learning new things. You're constantly seeking knowledge as an entrepreneur, you know. And then I got to a point where I had 3 kids and got to a point where, you know, they were kind of old enough to kind of be on their own a little bit, where they could actually not be with me 24/7.
Sure.
And so I'm like, you know, I wanted to get into teaching. So I started doing that during COVID.
Wow.
Yeah, so teaching at the collegiate levels is a lot of
On
fun.
top of everything else, she's a professor at Syracuse University.
Yeah. I mean, just why not, right?
Yeah,
You know,
in her spare time.
I got 2 businesses going. I think I'll be a professor at
Well, you know, you try to extend your career, right?
No,
Like
it's
as
great.
an owner of a business, like when you're an entrepreneur and you own it, and it's like, how do you extend your career? You know what I mean? What do you do? Like, there's...
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's got to be a little bit tough when people always say, like, oh, I'm sick of working I want to be my own boss. But, you know, you just made me realize sometimes it might be tough because then who's there to challenge you and to make you better? You know, so you got to kind of boss yourself.
That's why when Profound came around, you know, I jumped at the opportunity to be part of such a prestigious group of businesses because all of the Profound people were going through the same problems that I was going through, even though they were in a different industry. You know, we could all relate to one another in a really unique and special and meaningful way. So,
Well, you've got that, I'm going to call it for a second, that entrepreneurial curse that many of us have where you can't sit still, even when things are great. And that turns into most successful entrepreneurs do not have one venture. They've got, I think the average is 7. And you take that in another route where how do you keep yourself occupied? You've gone to the teaching route and you're helping to teach young entrepreneurs, which I'm sure helps scratch that itch a little bit.
yeah, and I think too the true like essence of being an entrepreneur is being a problem solver. So
Right.
there's always going to be problems in this world,
Sure.
right? So whether it's in your industry, a different industry, or you're interested, like, you know, in technology, I'm becoming more and more interested in technology, learning more about technology. As a Gen Xer, and there's many of us out there, you know, we grew up in a time where there were no phones. There were no, I mean, you know, you wanted to talk to your boyfriend, you like grabbed the phone off the wall, and there was a little curly cord, and you would kind of like sneak around the corner so that you could talk, you know. And especially, I'm one of 10, so like,
Oh, wow.
there was no privacy in our house, you know.
Damn. That's wild. I didn't know that.
I'm a Gen X. I'm on the Gen X millennial line because I was born in '82. Well, I just gave my age away. And so what I do is when I'm around Gen Xers, I'm like, yeah, I know those damn millennials. And then when I'm around millennials, I'm like, those old Gen Xers.
Well, we call you a
they
cusper.
Don't get it. I'm a cusper?
You're a cusper.
I've been called way worse. I'll take it. I'll absolutely take it.
The least offensive thing.
But I do. I know exactly what you're talking about, though. The days of like, you know, you wanted to go hang out with your friends, you call them. What are we doing? You want to date someone? You called them and asked them on a date, or you went up to them or made your friend go up to them, right?
Yeah, people didn't want to call anybody,
No.
myself included. I hate the phone.
Well, texting is so easy.
It is.
Texting.
I have to say, I love it.
Yeah.
I do business deals off text. I mean,
Absolutely.
and it's unprofessional, maybe.
Nah.
But nowadays, it's accepted.
I was going to say, I think
I don't think
maybe-
it's unprofessional.
I think that maybe in the beginning there was a window of time where maybe it would be a little loose to text one, but I think now I feel right. You would know.
Yeah. No, I think it's just a preferred method of communication, and you know, obviously, when you're business texting, you're going to be slightly more formal, but
Sure.
Nothing bothers me more than people that send a text that looks like a business letter.
oh
you
my
know?
God, totally.
You know, using all the corporate jargon and full punctuation, and like, you know, that's not
Just send the email.
that's not the idea.
Let me ask you this real quick. The other day, I was talking to a possible guest that's going to be on Good News York in the future. Never met them before. They run this company. I exchanged texts with them, whatever. Father's Day morning, that person sent me a Happy Father's Day GIF. And I don't know how to feel. Like it.
Maybe it went to
I've never
everybody
met
that
this
they've ever
person.
texted. I don't know.
We only texted about bringing them on the show, maybe 5-6 texts. First of all, how did they know I was a father? Second, but I didn't want to be unappreciative and not say thank you. Anyway, this is about you, but I
do
just
you think that
reminded me.
sometimes?
It's
Do you
interesting.
think sometimes like people
is.
will do that into their whole?
They must.
Oh
Right? Or
yeah,
something?
listen, it's a copy paste, but
Then again,
why me? Yeah, I
mean,
think I'll
your
just
name
send it
is
to
Mike, so it could just
Yeah.
be
Maybe he thought I
Seriously,
was
like-
somebody else.
one of a million other Mikes that the guy might know.
Just
you
it was
know?
like on that line of like that's so sweet that he would do, and then it was like, and it was a dude,
yeah.
which is I mean that's fine, but yeah, it was just very
Nowadays, anything goes.
And
Yeah.
I think so. Anyway, that's what I wanted to bring it back around to. I feel like if he could do that, I think texting in business is just fine.
Yeah, I in all honesty, not to like get on a soapbox or anything, but this is one of those things that is the modern evolution of society. Forget about business. This is how everyday people want to communicate. So my opinion on that is, if you want to be successful in business, you got to meet them there.
Yeah.
You know, I don't, it drives me crazy when you see some of these organizations that want their customers to jump through hoops. It's like, no.
Do you guys
come where I am?
Do you guys think there's an unwritten curfew for when to stop sending business texts for the night?
There is a written curfew. It's 9 p.m.
Is it?
It's a law.
Not in my world.
It's a law?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
You can't make business calls after 9 p.m.
Really?
Yeah.
So if
that being said, I think you jump into a gray area when you're texting, especially you're on a personal level, and now it's more like you and me, and it's not necessarily the company.
Yeah. Well, that's
calling. You know what I mean? And to me, that's always just made it a nice kind of good.
So what happens if you text past 9? Do you get arrested? You get
I don't
swatted?
think anybody enforces any of that nonsense, but
It's like jaywalking.
it is supposed to be a thing.
It's more of an ethical thing.
You know, it's like the do not call list. That
Yeah.
people still get harassed.
nobody-
on.
Well, I think that I have bad etiquette then.
Yeah.
Because
Well, me too. That's why I'm
I
asking.
literally, I run my business off my phone now. Like
Yeah,
I do so much at the same time because I can be working the computer here, I can be working on my phone here to answer. But sometimes things come into your head,
Right.
and you're like, oh, geez, I can't wait until. I mean, I have a sales rep that sells my bridal collection. And last night it was like, and I'm working all night because you got to remember, we're international business. So our factories are anywhere from 6 hours to 12 hours ahead.
Oof.
So at 2 in the morning, it's 2 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
So I went to bed at like 4 last night.
Oh my God.
I mean, cleaned the kitchen for 3 hours, got my stress out, and then as my phone's plugged in, charging because it's literally dead 24/7 because I'm constantly using it. As I'm doing things in the kitchen, I'm going back and forth messaging the factory, approving sketches and things like that. But so for me, something came up in my head last night, and I said, I need to contact Ashley about this. And so I messaged her probably 1 o'clock in the morning. And I told her yesterday when I talked to her, I said, listen, if I message you at weird times, I don't expect you to reply. Yeah. Don't take me, as I'm being rude.
Yeah.
But if I don't do it then, and I have I'm one of those, I take notes, right?
I do the same thing.
I do the same thing. And
Yeah.
My wife would say sometimes, why are you texting someone this late? And I go, you know what, you're probably right. I go, I just assume that if they're sleeping, they'll get it in the morning.
Right.
I just need to get this out of.
Yeah.
It's more for me to make sure.
No,
So
I definitely do that a lot in business,
Yeah.
and I've told you guys many times. You get some random email or text from me in the middle of the night, I have zero expectation of you doing
Same.
anything about it until work hours.
In fact,
you know what I mean?
I expect you to get it the next day.
But with same with Marie is when you're in the middle of doing something, you want to get that out.
Yeah.
That's, I don't know.
Or if you're in an industry where you're moving fast, there's a lot. We have in a week and a half, we have a huge photo shoot for the new collection in South Carolina. Ooh. So the logistics of that has become a lot. Where I was actually on the phone with the photographer who's in Florida, and then his partner's in Boston. So we were quickly had a 5-minute on the way here in the car.
Yeah.
Just kind of hey, let's set up the time for next week, finalize where we're going, how this is going to work. But that's the thing. It's things are in real time action moving, and things are changing, or there's a problem, and all that. So you have to be able to being flexible is so important.
Yeah.
I think being flexible is probably one of the most important talents that you can have as in life, not just as an entrepreneur, but in life.
Yeah, Matt can
would
do
agree
a
with that
full
completely.
split. You're very flexible. You are very flexible.
You'd be shocked.
Pilates.
Marie, let's go. Let's take a step back for half a second and give people a little bit of just a quick kind of bulleted list of the different things that you do, because I think it's interesting. So tell me what I'm missing here. We'll go.
Okay.
So we got a retail bridal shop.
Yep.
Dress designer.
Yep.
So a lot of the things that you can purchase in the shop, she actually designed.
Which is great.
You also, I don't know if that's a separate business, but you also sell those designs to other shops all over the country.
Yes.
Right? Your designs are featured in a video game.
Yes.
What?
Covet fashion game.
Yes. EA Sports game.
Oh, yeah, you did talk about that.
Yeah.
On your show. That's right. That's right.
Yep. Let's see. You're a professor at SU.
Mm-hmm.
And you...
Mom.
Mom.
That's always...
And there's other services that you're beginning to develop for other people in your industry, right? Like professional.
In the podcast, we do
retail world
said
stuff.
So.
Yep.
So I try to help the stores, primarily the stores that are purchasing my products and helping them develop their business. But the one other thing that we haven't really talked about.
Yeah, what'd I miss?
I'm a horse momager.
Oh.
A what?
So my middle child rides. She owns and rides her saddlebred and shows the saddlebred, American saddlebred, at the world competition in Louisville, Kentucky.
Wow.
She competes in the junior league show in Lexington.
Does she ride the horse all the way there?
Sometimes I feel like
Great
we
question.
do. Yeah. So when you're in, and she's been
Good
doing this since
workout.
she was 3 years old. So one of the things that I recommend, if you don't want to go broke, don't allow your little girl to hop on a horse.
Yeah.
Okay, easy.
Because if she gets that itch, she'll never get off, and that's kind of what happened. It all happened kind of by accident for us. We went to the barn to watch a friend's child get a lesson, thinking, oh, it'd be fun to see the horses, whatever. At the end, she goes, "Mommy, can I have a turn? Can I get on?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure," not expecting what that "yeah, sure" was going to become. So now she's 17, and 7 horses later, we're driving to Ohio, 5 hours there and 5 hours back, typically in the same day, for her to ride that horse and then get lessons on multiple others, maybe for 2 hours, and then we come back.
Equestrian, is that the right?
Yes.
Wait, how do you word? Is she an equestrian or is it equestrian?
Here we go.
What is it? Yeah, here we go.
So
Announce-
she's an equestrian.
She's an equestrian.
She's an
It's a noun.
Okay.
Okay.
And it's an
Feel good
equestrian
now.
industry, but equine,
Oh.
like an equine vet.
Would
So
be a
there
a
are,
vet for horses.
case in point, there are other ways to pronounce similar, similar versions of a word. But you would, like an equine vet would be, that's how you would pronounce that.
I just assumed all vets saw all animals, but I never thought about that.
No, they
have
specialize
special-
typically.
Yeah. You don't want your horse doctor working on your hamster, you know what I'm saying? Well, different scale, really.
I don't know why
It's
I
messy.
love that. Yeah.
So that reminds me of a funny story, actually. So I was on my way to work, and I drive I've had minivans forever because I freaking love them.
Minivans are great.
And there's no other vehicle that has stow and go and that can fit 2 mannequins, 50 dresses, 5 racks, and I still have room for a couple kids.
And
Ridiculous amount of cargo.
and no one will ever carjack you.
Yeah.
Well, exactly. So I'm on 690, and all of a sudden I see this Seagull coming towards me. It literally finds its way inside the grill of the front of my bumper. So I go to work, I'm like, not realizing, and then I come out at the end of work.
Oh, jeez.
This thing had been in my grill all day. So I get home, my husband has to take the whole car apart. The bird was still alive.
Oh.
So I find the closest emergency vet. I take the bird, trying to save this bird, and they come out and say, unfortunately, he died on the table. And
You're like, no, he died on the grill.
I was like, oh no. Yeah, I felt so bad.
Yeah.
But like,
You tried.
I brought it to the vet.
You did more than 99% of the world would.
But I think, like, what type of vet handles birds?
Right.
Like, is there a bird vet?
That's a great. I mean,
I
what
don't
would you
know.
call that?
they just. What do we do for that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Isn't that wild?
That's crazy.
Bringing a bird in on a crash cart. We got one that got hit by a car. I need 3 cc's of whatever.
Feed.
Feed. We need bird seed, damn it.
Get it some seeds.
We need some duct tape. But it's a bird.
But when you're a
duck's
horse
a
mom,
bird?
you're into animals.
See what he did there.
So we have 3 dogs, and we have the horse. And then actually at my business, at Spy Baby Bridal, we've got pet woodchucks in the yard. So they've burrowed, and we allow them to do. They have their babies, and the other day actually, Anna was doing work up at the window, and one of the babies went up to the window. She has a picture of it in the window.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You got to put him in a little dress.
I mean, it was so just you just tend to be animal people when you're a horse mom.
Yeah.
Do you know how much wood a woodchuck chuck?
No,
they
but
tell
that's good research.
No, that's what I'm saying. I feel like you could find that out because you own.
So our good friend Christine O'Donnell happens to have a horse farm for sale for like a really good
saw
price.
that.
right now. Just
Trust
throwing
me,
that out
I
there.
saw that.
Shout out Christine on another one of our content creators. Details in the Deal.
Yeah.
Her podcast.
Should be in for another episode today.
So you've got Spy Baby Bridal. You've got Couture. I want to make sure I say
Adornato Couture.
Adornato Couture. And then obviously you're teaching at SU as well. What are some things that are coming up that you want to talk about? What do you got going on that we other than and your podcast, by the way?
The podcast,
because Marie said so right here at Growth Mode Content. Please check that out.
30 years in business, 30 years, just learning and being able to share my experiences with other people, helping them, consulting with businesses, saying, hey, how can we cut costs? How can we look at your operating, systems and see, systematically where's the breaks? But the biggest thing that I like to focus on is creating super fans out of your customers. And that becomes very meaningful in so many different ways. When you're in business, you don't just want to say, okay, well, here's a pair of jeans, they're $30. I'll take your money, never see you again. That's not really the point. The point is to service the customer in a way that solves their problems, that creates great experiences.
Build a relationship.
Yeah, and just, making it meaningful. I always said if I was going to leave my kids screaming at daycare and have to walk away every day, I needed to go to a place that, was going to really make a difference for someone in their life. And it seems very materialistic being in the bridal industry and everything's pretty, but we deal with so much more psychological things.
Yeah.
I've clothed people who, were in a casket. I've dealt with, people who, the bride's dad is passing away. We have to quickly get the dress, quickly alter it. And within days, dad passes away. Like even a bride, within a week she passed away. It just, things like that become so tough emotionally and psychologically. People don't realize it's not just all that pretty fun.
That's a great point.
There's just so much more going on in the background that we don't know.
Yeah, I feel like all of your customers and clients, they're letting you into a very personal part of their life. They're getting married or it's a funeral or whatever else you got going on. That's a great point. I never thought of it that way. It's not like they're walking in and saying, I'd like that dress, please. You're very involved with the emotions and the feeling of it all.
I've had situations where mom's in the hospital and it's an emergency thing. The wedding's this weekend, but she still needs to do a fitting. I've brought dresses to a hospital bedside to try to make this all work so that we can, allow the bride to have this experience with their family member till it's too late. So it's it definitely does emotionally, it's a lot on you sometimes. But we just have so many great experiences where there's just such happiness and such joy. And I try to keep everything real positive. Sometimes you'll get some negative Nellies in a group or the group's too big and you don't know what that inner workings, interconnections is between, sisters or cousins or, parents or whatever. So you have to just kind of keep things really positive and happy and on a high note.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Marie, before we run out of time here, I wondered if you could just talk for a minute a little bit about your process, because I think it speaks to a lot of what you're saying. I think what's interesting to folks, or maybe it shouldn't be, maybe it's just because I'm a guy and I'm not necessarily in this market, but what I found very interesting about your business is it's not necessarily a typical shop at the mall where people walk in and wander around and walk out. They make an appointment and they take the time, and you and your team takes the time to really find something that fits their needs and literally customize it to their needs, right? Is that
well, you have
accurate?
to really hone in on what are their hang-ups. We all have hang-ups about our bodies.
Sure.
We all do. Especially for mothers of the bride, let's say. I'm Gen X. I'm in that age group where people my age, their kids are getting married. And we all have hang-ups, whether it's the arms, whether it's the belly, whether it's, and that whole M word, the menopause word, that's right around the time where we're dealing with all kinds of stuff. So whether it's hot flashes and you got to make sure that the fabric is light, or whether it's that belly hang that we're all kind of dealing with at this age. And I think guys go through it too.
Absolutely.
Do guys go through a
100%.
form of menopause too?
Oh, I don't know about that, but we have all those things you described. I don't know if that has anything to do with menopause.
Right. Yeah. No, we have all of those hang-ups.
Yeah.
Well, you know what I mean? It's like they're at that age where there's hang-ups where it's like the garment needs to either kind of cover up an area where they don't want exposed, or make them feel more comfortable, have a stretchy lining. So all of these things, you do become very intimate with the customer, with the conversation. And then a lot of times, we do a lot of custom work to make sure that whatever that, it's not, and I don't call hangups an issue, because to me it's not an issue. It's the way that you're looking at yourself. And we have to really encourage people to be more positive about their own images.
Sure.
Because when you look in the mirror, you got to look in the mirror every single day, and you got to be really happy about what you see. And yeah, everybody's going to have a little something that they want to change about themselves, right? But so what we do is we try to help them just be the most comfortable, look their best, because when you look good, you feel good.
It's true.
Absolutely.
And looking good is a matter of perception. Because some people feel like, I look good if I'm covered and I'm like a square box. If I have a piece of fabric that just falls and isn't tight on my body, I look good. Where other people are like, well, no, I want a booty cup. And what's a booty cup? A booty cup is when the dress is fitted around the booty.
Yeah.
Right? So J-Lo keeps our butts in style, which is great. So we love that. But, so everybody's got a different way that they want to project.
I feel like sometimes in my house, anywhere, is this crazy? I feel like I look better in certain mirrors.
Yes.
Like I have a mirror in my house where I always look really good, and then I go to the other mirror and I'm like, ugh.
Is it the lighting? Because lighting has a lot to do with it.
I think I'm asking you. I don't know.
And sometimes lighting has a lot to do with it. And is it beveled? Is the mirror beveled?
I don't even know what that word means.
Kind of like a funhouse mirror.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have no clue. I'll have to check this out when I get home.
Does one make you look considerably shorter?
No, all mirrors make me look short. It's not the shorter. It's just like sometimes I look skinnier in certain mirrors, or a little more muscular.
Or like you have a little bit of more dark circle under the eye in one mirror. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah. So that makes me feel good, because I used to say that. I go, man, this mirror, I love the way I look in this mirror. And I'm
Just
like, what are you
keep
talking
it.
about? Yeah, well, I do.
I got to find me one of those mirrors.
Yeah, I'll get you one.
This is awesome.
I'll get you one.
Marie, where are the best places for folks to find you?
Well,
Best
they can find me
website
all
or
over
all
social media. Just Google me. I'm everywhere.
It's true.
But Facebook, I use a lot. I love Facebook.
Sure.
I love the messenger, feature where people can just message me. I can get it anytime. Instagram, I'm becoming better with Instagram.
Great.
Yeah.
So I do have a team that's taken over the Adornato Couture Instagram account, so people can message there. Okay. We do have some cool new designers coming on with us. We're going to be adding Haley Page to our product mix at Spy Baby Bridal. Haley Page's story was really awesome and interesting. She's a younger designer. She had teamed up with a company, left the company, but they owned the rights to her name. So she recently was able to get her name back
That's
because
wild,
that company had gone belly up. So
Imagine that.
yeah, but she's really just
They took your name, then went out of business.
she's a powerhouse.
crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
Name put them out of business. What?
Yeah, but we're going to be bringing her on our podcast because Marie said so. So we're trying to get a date that works for her.
Awesome.
But we will have the dresses in the store. So, and she also just got picked up again by Kleinfeld's. She had to step away from Bridal for a little while she was legally fighting to get her name back. But she's a pretty awesome individual.
That's so cool.
Well, Marie, we love you. And make sure you guys
we love you.
Tune in to Marie, Because Marie Said So, her podcast right here at Growth Mode Content. And where do you go for that, Matt?
You can go everywhere she just mentioned.
Everywhere
where
she
you can
just
find
mentioned,
all the links to that.
all the
the
links.
podcast itself is in every podcast app that exists.
That's
So
what I meant, yeah.
Pick the one that you like the best and type in Because Marie Said So.
But you guys are on every morning here, right?
That's correct.
So,
We are.
we need to encourage our viewers, like, pop on every morning because you guys have some really fun stuff to talk about.
Oh, thank you.
We try.
We try.
And even if I miss you in the morning, I try to go through when you
Oh, that's
repost,
so
just
sweet.
because that's how I knew about
That's great.
our pronunciation of
Yeah.
Of documentary. Documentary.
documentary.
Documentary, my dear Watson. This has been a great episode of Good News York, brought to you by Ads on the Go. Get adsonthego.com. Shout out to Zach out there in his truck probably right now.
I'm very excited because this is a little behind the curtain, but our content creators like Marie got notified yesterday
Yeah.
that what we're doing with Zach with Ads on the Go,
Yeah.
one of the things that we announced for them is we are advertising all of their podcasts.
Yep,
So-
not just Good News York.
Right.
Everyone that has a podcast through us will also be on that amazing
Super
truck.
cool.
They're all going to get
Moving
some love from our man Zach and his incredible truck. And
really is.
we got a lot of other things kind of on deck that we're going to use Zach for. That doesn't sound right, but we're going to work with Zach and the incredible Ads on the Go truck to put together some different events and just really fun stuff.
Yeah.
We're also taking our creators to the River's Edge Mansion.
River Edge. I made that mistake.
Sorry.
No,
See?
I'm just correcting
I'm
you.
pronouncing things wrong.
I said it yesterday, and he went, "It's River," and I went, "Oh, sorry,
Yeah.
River Edge Mansion."
It is an absolutely gorgeous bed and breakfast just
great.
outside of the city.
It's cool.
And we're going to do some fun stuff with our creators. Hopefully the weather permits so we can get down by the water to shoot some stuff. It's just so much fun stuff
And it's
happening
only
here.
the beginning. I mean, we're not even a year in, man.
Yeah.
So imagine what we don't even know some of the things coming down the pipeline, as they say.
I don't know what's going to happen in 30 seconds.
Me either.
Right.
We're gonna find out.
Yeah, I guess so. This has been Good News York. Marie, thank you so much
Thank
for
you, guys.
joining
Love you.
us. This has been a blast. Danny, as always, thanks for running the board and making me sound less stupid and making Mike sound more stupid. No.
It's true. It's true.
We'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace out.